Well, guess what? We got a little bit of news this week as well. Just when you thought that Spider-Man 4 didn't have enough people in it, well, guess what? They told us one more. The Hulk will be in Spider-Man 4. It's reported that Mark Ruffalo is set to reprise his role as Bruce Banner in Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's currently unknown what the role Banner will play in the story or whether he'll also be portraying his alternate green personality or persona. I'm sorry. Spider-Man Brand New Day will be Ruffalo's 10th appearance in the main line of Marvel Cinematic Universe project, which will be followed by shortly after Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret War, respectively. Spider-Man Brand New Day is set to be released by Sony Pictures in July 31st, 2026, part of the Phase 6 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, does this move the needle more that, they're more inclined to bring in the Hulk and other characters? We saw Daredevil in the last movie for a brief second, Matt Murdock, that is. Do you guys kind of like it when these characters cross over, or do you think this is just a gimmick?
If it's just a cameo, if it's just a name for whatever, that's one thing. I mean, I always look at like where we left off, right? In Spider-Man, he left off where nobody knows of him, nobody knows who he is. Spider-Man was able to start over. So are we just going to go on repeat where he eventually gets back in the fold and back to square one again, or is it going to be like an actual solo Spider-Man kind of adventure? Who knows? Because like they're like, well, obviously Phase 5 didn't work, so Phase 6 is rinse and repeat in a way. I mean, yes, there's major stories, but they're bringing characters back. So I don't know if they think Spider-Man can't move on his own, or where that story is going to go without putting him back in the mix of things. With starting with the Hulk and starting with everything else. So we'll see.
Yeah, I will give you credit on that one because, since nobody knows who he is and the situation and everything, then the Hulk, I know the Hulk and Spider-Man had some interactions in the comic wise. I don't know how this is going to actually, relate
and this
to
Hulk,
Spider-Man 4.
Sorry.
Yeah. I will give you, I think Ed Norton probably did the best job as the Hulk.
This Hulk with the nice smart Hulk is sitting there, and that's the I'm like, I like Mark Ruffalo, but like this Hulk is not cool.
Yeah. we want angry Hulk.
Yeah.
All I hope for this Brand New Day is it's the last film that then rolls into Doomsday, right? Like, so it's July and then December is Doomsday.
Yes.
It would be very, very cool because of obviously Tom Holland, Peter Parker's attachment to Tony Stark or Iron Man. If for whatever, the end scene or the cut scene of like Peter Parker getting super excited that he sees Tony Stark, and he's like, oh my God, he's alive or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's not him. It's like, however they're going to say it's like Doom. Like if they just give us a teaser to Doom before Doomsday, it would be incredible. I don't know how they're all going to tie that in, but please give us just like a little bit like you did with Thanos, remember, before we saw him, but just give us a sneak peek of Peter Parker going, wait a minute.
I think you nailed
Tony
it.
Stark.
I honestly think you nailed it right there as far as like bringing that story back into the fold, because again, we get to Secret Wars, it's chaotic. Secret Wars is huge. It's almost like the Infinity's kind of stone, in Saga.
I'm curious as to like because I know Marvel announced that they're skipping Hall H this year, so they're not going to have a very big presence at Comic-Con. So I'm kind of curious what the play here is, because it's like there's a lot that they have kind of like coming up, and it's weird that they wouldn't want all of that press. I don't see where Banner fits into this movie, and so I'm a little worried about that. I don't necessarily. I think that Marvel fatigue and superhero fatigue is real, and so I think you can't really get away with, like, okay, when the first run of Marvel movies was out, it was always like, wait till the end, like, let's see who they introduce, and it didn't matter what character it was. It was just like this character showed up, and you're like, oh shit, like that's awesome. I don't think that those days necessarily exist anymore, because, like, cool, Banner's gonna show up in Spider-Man. Okay, and like what is
They're
the
not
purpose?
showing us anything yet. We haven't seen.
I think that this was released simply because Mark Ruffalo has been having some hot water and talking about how he didn't want to do it anymore, and then they probably were able to land him, so now they need to pump him up again as like going to be able to do it again. So I don't know what the angle is with announcing that he's going to be in this, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Storm?
Well, you know what? I'll tell you. I don't think more superhero fatigue is something. I think the fatigue is bad storylines and not eventful storylines. Because the Thunderbolts recharged it. So when you do something right, people go into the theater. They want to see it. But when you do the same story or the same stunts, you get the fatigue. People's like, I think I've done this, and I think when you also use secondary and third characters that nobody wants to see. Disney Plus has this Ironheart. I think this is another miss for them, and it's going to only be the thing to infuriate fans because they don't want to see these characters.
Well, they need a goal. Thanos was a goal.
Yeah.
10 years to get to him.
Now you've got an opportunity with Doomsday and Secret Wars. You've got a chance because now you can naturally reboot these characters because there's going to be variants and situations.
And bring the mutants in, for God's sake.
Yeah, we're going to get to see something else. And I think X-Men, I think you're right, Mooch. I think X-Men is definitely going to help the Marvel Universe because it's a new set of characters we haven't seen.
Yeah, it's a whole nother world, dude. It's like, I mean.
So, we'll see. But first you got to start off with a good storyline. And it's just, they do something like, you end up getting Thunderbolts, and then we hear the so-so from Fantastic Four. And then you've got to wait all the way for Spider-Man. Then I don't know if that's good.
And then you got to beat Superman and DC. Yeah. You got.
I mean, beating Superman is not going to be hard. So.
It's going to be extremely hard.
It's not going to be hard.
I'm calling it.
You just with Superman's. The launch of the Superman movie is going to be launched with Superman holding kryptonite around his neck, trying to crawl up the box office.
Yeah, is that going to be the popcorn bucket? That'd be awesome.
No, actually, we did see the popcorn bucket, and it was so underwhelming. We did not put them on the show. They're just pins, actually. So, hopefully, they got something else planned for that because that wasn't really that cool. But you know what, gentlemen? That's the end of SKN News for tonight.